Now, over the last 3 years, our 3D print farm has been exploding. We're talking about over 11,000 sales in just under 3 years, and that's pretty spectacular. We do 3D printing for pad printing companies, for manufacturers, for large drinkware companies, and we also provide jigs for the X-Tool, laser, UV printing community. We're talking about the X-Tool printers, the UV printers. We also do things for Mamaki, LogoJet, all those different type of printers. 42,000. But you know what's the problem? Everything's in black and white or single color. We don't do color because color is too expensive and color takes too much time. This is the kind of stuff that we make. Really cool. But you know what? Things are about to change. Let's check it out. Now we are talking about the Snapmaker U1 3D printer. And that printer really changes the game when it comes to 3D printing. Where we were just printing functional parts like this, which guess what? This is our bread and butter. Now we have the ability to spicing up our parts with color. And let me just show you this. This came off of the Snapmaker U1. I've been super excited. I was dying to get my hands on one of these. And I was really grateful for our Snapmaker sending one our way to check out. And the color quality and the speed is spectacular. You don't have to sacrifice time to get speed. Matter of fact, literally, I've seen the times to print specific items where on the Snapmaker may take 3 hours. It's literally double, if not more, on a bamboo printer. Let's face it, our farm is primarily bamboo, but it also has Creality, it also has Kiti, and it also has Anycubic because of their large footprint and also some specialty things that we do. So the actual U1 gives us enormous flexibility when it comes to color that we're incorporating into our business. Let me show you some of the prints and we're gonna go ahead and check out the printer. Now, the type of prints that we print are functional prints. We don't do dragons, we don't do toys. I'm gonna show you the color capabilities that comes through toys, but we don't really specialize in that area. We specialize more in functional parts and also enabling technology for small businesses. But there's an opportunity for us to do color there as well. So what you see here is one of the parts that we printed, and this is a part that we use for venting. This is a venting solution that has blast gates. And I just wanted to show you what the raw part would look like. And as you can see here, this thing is like super clean, a lot of quality. This was done by a new printer that's going to be reviewed very shortly. It's actually not available yet on the market, and I'm going to be sharing it with you here. And I would put it into the industrial space when it comes to the overall quality. Now, what you see here is a lot of the prints that we've printed. And I wanted to show you, go back to this little dragon guy here. So this little dragon guy here came out really, really nice. And this dragon right here, I printed it a second time. But there's a big difference between these two dragons. You see this guy right here? And if we look at this guy right here, very different. The difference between these two dragons is that one of them has waist and has a tower and the other one doesn't. So anytime you're going to do a print, you have to have a tower like this that kind of matches the colors that you're printing on the print. So you'll notice that they kind of coincide with the little colors that are going on here with the actual dragon. So you see a little white, a little yellow, you see the red, and you can see that it's mixed red because it also has some yellow for the chest. It also has the black in here. So the tower, as it's printing this, it's printing the tower. And then also, it creates waste. Now, we have printed over 42 hours on the Snapmaker without one error. That's something. 42 hours, error-free. And this, what you see here, is the waste that it created. And I would say a couple things here. With the waste with the Snapmaker, it generates waste in two areas. First of all, it does it when you're swapping filament. So you'll notice here that there's a lot of different color variations. You'll notice that this guy right here is a brown and kind of like a beige, yellow. You also notice that this guy here is kind of like a sandy gray, right? Or sandy beige. Each one of these colors, as I switch the filaments, it does generate some waste as it purges the old and it takes in the new filament. But it's not substantial. Again, 42 hours worth of waste, and this is all I have to show for it. If you have a bamboo printer or any other printer and you're doing colors, forget about it. You have a lot of waste. So what I did with this second one to generate no waste is I eliminated the print tower, and I also told it to flush the infill, any waste inside of the print. So I literally printed this guy right here with zero waste. Matter of fact, all these other prints that you see here were zero waste because I printed the infill into it. I'm going to show you this guy right here. And you're going to notice here that it has some specks right here on the black. This is kind of something I can tune out because as it was switching from black to white, instead of it spitting it, I basically had it put it inside of the object itself. So it wasn't printing a tower to get rid of the excess. It was actually doing it here. So this is what you see a little bit here, and I can fix that with some of the tuning. But this, for example, is another item with zero waste. Not only were we able to do this with zero waste, but then we also did this guy right here. Look how cute this guy is right here. Never would be able to do this. This would have taken me at least 18 hours on the bamboo. And this is even the brand new bamboo that has that multiple changer head. It can't compete with this, which is surprising, especially at the price point. But you can look at this quality and how great this looks. If I was into these kind of toys, this would be the printer for me. Look at this one right here. This is a dinosaur, and it's an articulated dinosaur. And this is also done on the, again, U1. Spectacular quality, very, very clean print. And I like how functional it is. I never really got into these type of toys, but I can see why there's so much, I would say, attraction to it. Again, you see dragons, you see these kind of toys. I guess I can get it, but again, I would never do this on a standard printer. On the, again, U1, it's the way to go. Here's another example of something else that we did. And notice this one right here, articulating it as well. The head moves. This is definitely a kid's toy. Super fast, no waste, and I could see us running a production of these to sell. Here's another one that we have here. Look at this guy right here. Again, another toy. Everything is functional, moves around. You can see this as well. So the bottom line is that the Snapmaker U1 is a very, very capable machine, especially with the tool head technology. So let's take a closer look at the Snapmaker. We'll go over the specs, and I'll show you why this is definitely the printer that's transforming the industry when it comes to multicolor printing. And by the way, it could do multi-material too. So it's not just limited to PLA. It could do other things as well. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now I have the Snapmaker U1 here in our formal living room. I'm not going to be introducing it to the farm just yet. I wanted to put it through some tests and also some calibration, but I wanted to give you a sense of the overall printer, some of the features. For those of you who have not seen this, it's a really, really great printer. And for a first generation multi-tool changer like this, I think that this is quite an accomplishment for Snapmaker. So what you see right here is the actual print head, and you'll notice that it grabbed, there's one head missing over there. Just wanted to show you what this looked like. So basically, the printer will go from here and grab a print head, and every print head has a color. And when I say the print head, it contains both the filament and it has the nozzle. So this right here, all it has is the cooling fan, but everything else, all the magic is happening here. And you can see that we have the 4 that are listed right there. Right. Now, the bed itself, we'll go ahead and check out the bed inside. The other thing that you'll find with this is that I find really unique is how it is see-through from one side to the other. So you can see the railing in the back that's going right through. You can see on the side here, you can see that you have a fan, a cooling fan. And then you have some fantastic, fantastic lighting right there. So this lighting is great and things show up really nicely. The other thing that you'll notice is, or at least I notice, is that there's very little debris inside of the printer, which when we're printing, again, over 42 hours worth of printing, I'd expect more debris. Now, if I pan up a little bit, and you'll see this right there, you'll notice in the back over there, there is actually another tray. That's a poop tray. That's additional poop that was issued, but that was issued because I was changing filament spools. Every time I change this filament spool, it has to switch out the filament, and it's going to purge whatever was in the nozzle. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that is because I switched the spools themselves. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this door, and what you'll notice is also that this door right here, this is a glass door. Now the printer isn't super quiet, right? And I'm going to highlight why. So as we come up here, you're going to see this opening, this wide opening, and the changing of the heads does make some noise. I do have a cover that I'll show you in a second. And that cover is not the official Snapmaker cover. They do have one coming out. I'm hoping that Snapmaker will send that to us to check out as well. But for now, I actually have a third-party one that I've been using, and it does reduce the decibel levels quite a bit. Now, as you'll see here on the side, you do have 2 spools. You actually have 4 spools. These spools have RFID technology, which means as you put them in, Snapmaker software recognizes the color and the material. These are all PLA. This is what Snapmaker sent our way. You have over here, this is the loading solution. So when you put it in here, it actually loads and it comes through that PTFE tube, and then it basically ends up where you see right there in the actual nozzle in that area. Now the back, Now the back of the printer is pretty straightforward. You do have your power, you have USB, you have an Ethernet. I do everything via Wi-Fi, so there's no need here. You can see your PTFE tubes coming in here, and you see the actual cable connections. And this is what the build process is for this machine. You're pretty much putting in the print heads, and then you're also putting in these cables. Pay attention to these screws. Some of these screws are shorter than others, so you want to make sure that you put the right screw in the right area, because if you put screws that are too long here, you could damage, again, your print head that you have. You have additional expansion ports here that I'm sure goes for maybe for the cover or something else. Let me just make sure that you guys can see that right there. And then you have each one of these is numbered. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. And then over here, I have 2 more spools. One spool there, another spool there, and another loader here. Now the software is pretty straightforward, and you can see the colors are immediately there. You have a settings area where you can move around, control movement, things that you find in normal printers. You also then have here your account, all your information about your network, your printing preferences. And then here, for example, if I go into actually my filament, I can actually load and unload filament if that's something I wanted to do. So very easy to choose. And also they've been building out the filament profiles. So they do have Polymaker, which is what we standardize in here. We also use maybe some bamboo, but primarily we do Polymaker. So I love the fact that they have already the Polymaker profiles there, which makes it really easy for me. Oh, and by the way, this printer does fantastically well when it comes to TPU. It's a great TPU machine. Now, for those of you who are curious about the specs, let me share you some of the details. Again, it has a build volume of 270 by 270, which you saw there. It basically has the printing speeds, top max tool head speed is 500 millimeters per second. It also has max acceleration, which means how quickly does the tool head move from left to right, of 20,000 millimeters per second. You're looking at 300C max nozzle, which is going to give you the ability to print some really nice filaments. And what you're looking at is, again, from a filament perspective, you're going to be able to print quite a bit. But one thing I wanted to mention is that the bed only raises up to 100C. From a basic filament, you're looking at PLA, PETG, you're looking at TPU, which it does incredibly well, PVEA, PCTG. Now, if you put a cover on top of it, and you can see that cover that I have right there, things get a little bit more spicy, right? Basically, you can do PLA, PETG, TPU, PVA, PET, ABS, ASA, PA, and PC. Now, if you change the nozzles, which you can also have, so the nozzles that it comes with that you have right there, if you switch them over to hardened steel, then you could do carbon fiber, you can do polymer glass, fiber reinforced polymer, and you can do much, much more. Now this cover is from BIC, or BIQUE. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but this is a cover that you can put on the Snapmaker, and it does reduce the noise by several decibels. So I actually prefer having this than not having it at all. It's kind of odd because it does raise it up quite a bit. You can see how much it adds to the footprint because of the actual cables and the way the PTF2 are actually routed. But it does a really nice job of keeping things under control. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.